Today on Let's Fish TV, join me, Andrew Upshaw, my buddy Frank from Coastal Blue Persuasion. We're in Gulf Shores, Alabama. We're going after as many species of fish as we can catch today. Guys, today's episode is gonna be one you don't wanna miss. We're gonna be full of fish catches and a lot of fun. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. That's a big one right there.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southeast region every week.
You ever caught a fish that big?
No!
Got it.
Another day. There you go. Another redfish. Got him. Now, that's what Let's Fish TV is all about right there, guys. Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Andrew Upshaw, and today we're in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Today we're gonna be targeting a bunch of different species of fish with a really cool technique that I learned years and years ago called split shotting. We're gonna be drifting in and around cover, catching a variety of species of fish. We're not targeting one specific species, but just as many bites as we can get. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporters. Meantime, we're gonna get out there and get everything set up. We'll toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hey everybody, these salooner tables are indicating fair game fish activity both days this weekend. Activity begins around 8:29 Saturday and 9:18 on Sunday morning. The best evening action will begin at 8:53 on Saturday and 9:41 Sunday. Depending on your location, the sun will rise around 6:28 and set around 8:23, and evenings will have a moon that is 77% visible. Make sure to stay in the loop with Let's Fish TV's latest fishing adventures and tips by joining us on Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel.
All right guys, today we're headed out in Gulf Shores, Alabama. We're gonna go after a couple different species of fish. We're gonna attempt to get the Alabama Slam, the inshore slam, which is a flounder, redfish, and trout. But if that doesn't pan out, we're gonna go out near shore basically and go try to catch some fish off a couple different wrecks. So we got a game plan in mind. We're gonna go see if we can get it done today in Gulf Shores, Alabama. We'll see y'all here in just a second.
Their brain is right there, that black spot. So their horn hooks on right there. I like hooking them under the horn, but not in the brain. That way he'll stay good and lively. So you're going about halfway between the eye and the brain. Just make sure that barb comes all the way out.
Sweet.
There's one. I don't think it's anything but a little bait fish maybe. Or a flounder. We should have the net out already. A little undersized.
There we go. Did you get you one?
That was that odd bite I kept having back there.
Oh, is that what it was?
And I had to just feed it to him.
These flounder are some of the funkiest looking fish you can catch.
You know, when they're born, they have an eye on the opposite side. And it migrates around as they start becoming mature. Yeah.
Well, this is first fish of the day. It's flounder. And you were just split shotting a shrimp right there.
That's right, just drifting down through there.
You know, the water's a little dirtier right now. We got the tides coming in, so it should push some cleaner water in the rest of the day. But in this situation, we're just trying to get some bites, to generate some bites, and sometimes you gotta change up a little bit. You know, I'm actually tying on a new bait by Strike King, which is this is just a little shrimp that we make that's got a jump tail, basically. So anytime you pull it through the water, it actually has a piece of fabric in there that will actually keep it to where it won't get ripped off by the teeth of these fish. And you can rig it two different ways. You can either have the hook coming out here and it'll actually jump it, or you can actually just fish it along the bottom. I have it rigged this way this time. And I went with a little more natural approach because it does kind of look more like the shrimp. We'll see what happens though.
Those flakes, with a bright day like that, that ought to give you a little bit of shine too.
All right, folks, it's time for your Carolinas Report. This week brought to you by Crazy System Marina, the leader in water sports on the Grand Strand. We want to get you out on the water, want to make sure you have fun and live like a local when you're in town. Our captains on our charter boats make sure of that, but you can come down, rent a boat and do it yourself, or stop into our tackle shop. Visit crazysystemmarina.com to find out more information. Let's talk about the freshwater side of things, and I'll tell you, this week and next week, coming into that full moon and after, the panfish, brim, red breast and such are going to really start firing off and bedding up. Down at Santee, I know I've heard of a lot of people down there in the Russellville Flats finding those areas with hundreds of beds and catching some really nice fish right now. You can get down to Remini, go over to Sparkleberry Swamp, fish on every tree. You're going to find some spawning fish there as well. Make sure you get out live bait, crickets, worms. You know it works great. If you're a lead liner, drop that thing on the bottom. Also, don't forget, make sure you put a line out for catfish because the catfish are biting too. We got a lot of bites going on. Incredible right now on the freshwater side of things, and we're going to continue to talk about that. Lake Murray, the Bassmasters were here in an incredible tournament, lots of big fish caught, and I think it's the first time they've been here this late in the spring, and it just shows you how incredible the fisheries are. Get up there and enjoy some of the best striper fishing as well on Lake Murray right now. Early morning, late afternoon, start looking for those top water bites. Get out there with a Zara spook, get some great action, catch a lot of fish, and remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
There he is. There's one.
Got one?
Yep, that's a better fish. He ain't real big.
10-inch
So hey,
trout?
he's about that third pyramid right there. Same size.
Yeah. Ooh, I'll put it right on it. I need to drop down and just go, thump, and be a big old redfish.
So we'll go about that third dorsal fin. Pop that little tag. It's got a number to call. It's got a unique number to that tag. One
That's
day,
pretty cool.
he'll grow up to be a big monster.
I've never seen one tag before. I think that's
Really?
probably one of the cooler things I've seen. You know, so today we're here in Gulf Shores and we're fishing for the inshore slam. You know, Frank's already got him a flounder and a trout, so he's 2/3 the way there, but we're gonna talk about that here in just a little while.
There he is.
That little red, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, that's-
I think it's a little red. Well, this is a trout. Well, that's a pretty
trout.
good spec right there.
There we go. On the old popping cork.
Look, he won't be by himself in there either. Ethan, I was right where you pulled yours from.
Now that's not a bad one there. That's a little better than Easton's 11-incher earlier.
I would agree.
So far you've had a flounder and a trout. You know, the one cool thing is what he's doing here is he's actually tagging this fish. And up until this point, I've never seen a fish tag. So when you're tagging these, how big do they have to be?
Usually they've got to be about 12 inches to get a tag in just because they're so small and you got to have enough muscle up on top.
That's really cool. They go right in. That's awesome. And you actually had, last year you had somebody catch one, you tagged a bull red and they caught it 8 miles away the next day.
That's right.
It just goes to show you how far, first off, how far these fish actually swim, and secondly, how catch and release is so effective, and knowing that you're able to go catch the same fish again and somebody else can go enjoy it. So there's times that you want to keep them and eat them, but there's other times you want to throw them back, and in this situation we're throwing it back because that was about a 14-incher.
14 exactly.
Yep. So you know, they have to be 15 inches to keep here, and they can only be 15 to 22. Am I right there?
That's right.
And you can have
one oversized.
one oversized. So make sure if you do come to this area, the Gulf Shores area, you pay attention to the regulation. Follow that regulation to a T, otherwise you're gonna get a ticket, so don't do that. So I'm gonna get back to it. It's time for me to pick up my plopping cork, and hopefully I catch me a nice trout or redfish here in just a minute.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Loran's, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Tourism. Let's fish on Alabama's beaches. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion.
What you got?
Oh, big flounder. Get that
Oh,
net.
there's a big flounder.
Grab net, Ethan.
I got it.
boy.
Here we
That's
go.
a better fish right there.
What you got?
Oh, big flounder. Get that
Oh,
net.
there's a big flounder.
Grab net, Easton.
I got it.
Ready?
Oh, go back.
Head first.
There we go.
Attaboy.
There we go. That's a good flounder there now. That's what I'm talking about.
That's actually like keeping size.
Heck yeah. Today, guys, we're at Gulf Shores. We're actually fishing an offshore wreck. This particular spot, we've caught mangrove snapper, we caught a trout, and now a big flounder. You know, this is a really cool area because you have so much variety. You can come out of the bay, come out and fish, you know, offshore structure, or you can go in the bay, fish really shallow water. We've done a little bit of both today. Caught a bunch of trout this morning. Had a little cold snap come in and it kind of knocked the fish back a little bit. So we came out here and kind of adapted, you know, and you got to adapt when you're on the water and figure out where they're biting. Anytime those cold weather systems come in, you have to adjust. And what we did today is we came out here on some stuff that maybe the weather didn't affect the fish as much. And when you get off the bank, that's when you really start catching them. So, man, an awesome flounder though. Free lining a shrimp.
That's exactly right.
So that's really a good one.
Look at that mouth.
Hey, I'd give you $5 you put your finger in there. I'm gonna get re-rigged. I broke off just now, so I'm gonna get re-rigged and hopefully I get me a nice flounder
There
like
you
that.
go.
Hey y'all, welcome to my favorite part of the show, the Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia Coastal Fishing Report. This segment's brought to you by me, Captain Patrick Armisen with Ugly Fishing. You can check out my website at uglyfishing.com. You can book online as well as some money-saving opportunities on the homepage with SaltScone, LureNet.com, and Pure Flats Fishing, creator of the Slick Lure. Hey, along the Mississippi Gulf Coast, talked to Robert Brody, Team Brody Charters. He said that everything in the inshore world is starting to really come together. He said that catching a lot of redfish, drum, and flounder around docks and dock pilings, bulkheads, and stuff like that. He said it's really fun, kind of hand-to-hand combat fishing around a lot of barnacle structure. You hook into a redfish, you pull it, might break you off, might not. You might get that thing out of there. He said the other stars right now for him has been the ground mullet. And the white trout bite has been going on really good on those reefs. Greg Hildreth, Georgia Charters, he said that the triple tail bite is really starting to fire up. The black tip sharks around the shrimp boats is really picking up good. And he said that the speckled trout bite inshore is doing really well using live shrimp and mud minnows, fishing those on slip corks around 4 to 6 feet of water is where his hot spots have been. Along the Alabama coast, everything's really coming to life. If you want to kind of fish slow and fish structure, use live shrimp, and you're going to find puppy drum, redfish, sheephead, flounder, a lot of diversity there, maybe even a few speckled trout mixed in. Move down towards the southern end of the system, down around Dolphin Island, Fort Morgan. You can fish with some live croakers, throw lures like the slick lure, top water, target these bigger speckled trout this time of the year. Hey y'all, thanks for checking out this week's report. Y'all remember to only keep what you need, leave the rest, and God bless, guys.
Right. Oh.
There you go. There you go. Oh yeah, good fish.
Had to let him load up. Oh, I got his sheep's head.
Do you?
Yeah.
Didn't you say you hadn't caught one of these?
I have not caught one of these. They're hard to fighting fish though.
Bad little sheep's head.
There we go.
Caught a boar.
That's what I'm talking about. I've just always wanted to see their teeth. So far today, we've caught flounder, we've caught croaker, we've caught trout, and mangrove snapper, and now a sheep's head. I just wonder how many we'll catch in a day. Like how many different species? What's the most you've caught in a day?
Usually 13, 12 and 13 happens a lot. Like from
really?
one little spot without all that running around.
That's awesome. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, that is the funkiest teeth.
Look, you put the hook in there right, it's not easy to hook these things. You put it like in the only place in there that's got any flesh.
Heck yeah. Well, he bit it about 27 times right there.
Yeah, and just like you said, you let him load up.
That's a pretty cool fish right there.
Cool looking.
What's the biggest one of those you've caught?
10.5.
Wow, so they get that big.
Yeah, they'll get to be studs.
That's awesome. Guys, if you come to Gulf Shores, you never know what you're gonna catch, but I can promise you one thing, you're gonna catch some fish. What that means to me though, is I gotta get another shrimp on, and it's time to catch another one because I just got broke off.
The one before that, he was way bigger.
Yeah, I just got broke off by a fish, and it's been 3 casts in a row that I've caught one, so it's shrimp time and fishing time.
Teeth only a dentist could love.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Powerful, total boat control. Balls Out, made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on, challenge your limits.
That's a better fish right there.
Oh, big sheep fish.
There we
Go.
go.
It's a little bigger than that last one.
Heck yeah. All right guys, today we're in Gulf Shores, Alabama. You know, this is a really cool place. This is a place that I would bring my family day in and day out for a vacation because not only is it a tourist destination as far as the beaches. I mean, the beach is one of the cleanest beaches I've ever been to, but also a lot of great fishing. You know, on this particular trip, we're doing a lot of different fishing and just goes to show you the variety that you have here in Gulf Shores. I got one on right now. There we go. What do I got now? Spanish mackerel. There we go. There we go. Oh, Lee. There's a little bluefish, okay.
Another species.
Another species. But you know, we're gonna go after the inshore slam. We're gonna go after some sharks, which is gonna be awesome. Going after tuna. So it just goes to show you, no matter what you do here in this area, you're gonna be able to target a bunch of different species of fish. You know, last year we actually had a show shot out of Mobile Bay by Patrick Garmison, actually catching jacks on topwater. So the options are limitless here in Gulf Shores, and it just goes to show you, no matter what, you can get bit doing a bunch of different things. And today, that's our, what, 5th or 6th species of fish. Gulf Shores is where it's at, guys. You need to come check out this area. It is full of fish and full of fun. We had some great food last night. I could go on and talk about it, but I need to get back to fishing. That's a better fish right there. There we go. That's another sheep's head, I think. There we go, guys.
Oh, big sheep fish.
There we go.
It's a little bigger than that last one.
Heck yeah.
Had a boy.
Dude, it didn't as much make it to the bottom right there, and that thing chomped on it. That's what I'm talking about. It's definitely better than that other one.
That's a good heavy fish. Look, see how much skin you got hooked on?
Oh yeah. Guys, today I want to talk to you about one thing. You know, we're out here with Frank from Coastal Blue Persuasion, but one thing that Frank has done that has impressed me more than anything, that maybe any trip that I have been on with a guide, is he's never given up. He has worked hard to put us on fish. We've adapted all day long until we landed on the fish. And if you want an amazing trip, you need to come out here with Frank. Not only does he do a lot of stuff as far as redfish and trout and flounder, but he also does a lot of snapper trips in the summer. Guys, if you want a trip of a lifetime here in Gulf Shores, you need to come check out Frank. I promise you, he is one of the hardest working guys that I've had in a boat in quite some time. Reminds me of myself, bass fishing. You know, he never gives up, always adapting, and that's what it's all about here on the water. So, guys, if you come to Gulf Shores, this is the man to check out. There we go. There we go.
There we go.
Doubled up the shrimp, double up the size. That's what I'm talking about. Another sheep's head.
Is it?
Yep.
Yep.
There we go.
Boy, flip around. A little bit bigger than that.
Heck yeah. All right, guys, that right there is the icing on the cake, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why. All right, so we're at the end of the day. You know, if you've ever fished out here in saltwater, one thing is for sure, you start running out of bait. And we're literally on our last 6 shrimp, and all of them were little bitty baby shrimp. So one thing I learned from Cajun Phil, and you know Cajun Phil from my reports in Louisiana, is instead of just using 1 shrimp, I actually doubled up and put 2 shrimp on my hook at one time, just trying to generate that one last big bite for y'all to see. Was it a giant? No, but it was bigger than anything else I was catching. And that is one of the biggest keys that you can ever have, is if you start running low on bait, double it up. Don't be afraid to have a really big bait out there, because what I have learned from fishing in freshwater, the bigger the bait, the bigger the fish.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lake Hartwell Country. Catch the feeling. Lose, feel the difference. Strike King, tie one on. And by Glacier Outdoor. Outdoors since 1982. Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Today off the coast of Gulf Shores, we used one particular technique to catch our fish, and that is a split shot rig. You know, the split shot rig has been around for a really long time. It's actually one of the very first techniques I ever learned to do for bass, and we used it today, and it makes it even more special. You know, attached to it, we're using a Kell hook. This is a really small hook with 2 split shots. You know, I started the day with 1 split shot, and I ended the day with 2 split shots, and the reason is the tide started ripping out, and it started moving my bait too quickly. Attached to this was a live shrimp. You know, it actually seemed like the bigger the shrimp, the bigger the bites and the more bites I got. As we got to smaller shrimp, I actually had to start doubling up the shrimp in size just to try to get extra big bites. You know, as far as the rod and reel combo I was using a 7.6 medium heavy, moderate fast action inshore speed stick with a size 400 custom inshore spinning reel. Attached to that, I was using 10-pound tour grade braid, yellow in color. I like that yellow color to be able to detect bites, and it definitely was a big key today. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why. You know, why I was using braided line. That tide was ripping so hard that there was almost virtually impossible to keep your line as tight as you needed to keep it to actually feel the bites. But that braid, I could feel those subtle bites, and I was able to keep tightening until the point of where I actually got to set the hook. But one big key is actually having a fluorocarbon leader, and I don't think necessarily the fluorocarbon is so the fish can't see it, but it's more abrasion resistant than that 10-pound braid. I was using a 25-pound Strike King tour grade fluorocarbon leader just to help minimize losing those fish. But guys, today it has been an absolute blast. We caught so many different species of fish, I think 7 or 8 different ones. It was a phenomenal day. I cannot wait to come back. And until next time, I'll see you on the water.